What's the camera for?
Mate, it's office tour day.
Oh yeah. Welcome to Arki HQ. Guys, hello, how's it going? Today we're going to be touring this creative space we've been building over the past year or so. We're going to be looking at our desk setup, smart home automation, and all the way down to just what furniture we have. I do just want to preface this video by saying, I know it looks a lot, right? How is it affordable? And 3 years ago when I was at uni and didn't have a penny to my name, I couldn't imagine it either. You know, meagering for lunch and dinner. But in that past 3 years, I've been working as a tech creator, and everything you see behind me is a mixture of sent out products we've worked on for ads, and some out of my own pocket as well. I'm eternally grateful for anyone that's supported and has just started to on the new channel. Anyway, that's enough rambling. Let's get on with the tour. Alright, so we created this as a lounge style set for the videos, but me and Ryan generally spend a lot of time here, so it's a really good entertainment space if we have friends round, if we want to watch content back, or just watch some movies and stuff. Let's start with the tech that makes all that happen. The TV is the LG G2. This is an OLED screen, 120 Hz, and it sits like a picture frame on the wall. I think hence the G2, the gallery name. So that's for picture, but for sound, we use Sonos in here. I mean, we use it in the whole office actually, but there's a surround sound setup here, and this is the Arki soundbar. We also have it connected to a sub Gen 2 for a bit more bass, and either side of the sofa behind us, we also have Era 100s. And when we're using it as an entertainment space as well, I can just open AirPlay or Spotify and cast straight to the lounge, and it lights the whole thing up. And for a bit more entertainment, we've got an Xbox Series X here. We're both PC gamers, but sometimes you can't beat grabbing a controller, sitting down on the sofa and playing some console games. Let's get on some of the furniture. All right, so the sofa you can see behind me is one from Dunelm. I think it was like £1,200–1,300. The reason we got it because it was like 2–3 day fast shipping and we needed a sofa for the office. It looks great in here, but I don't know if you'd want it in your home. It's not the most comfortable. But yeah, it's in a nice orange, like faux leather sort of texture, fully modular as well, so you can move the L shape about where you want, detach a bit if it's a bit too big, squeeze bits together. Now next to the sofa is what looks like a white box oak coffee table, but it is actually a racing simulator. This one was designed by Coffee Racer, and the main concept around it was so you could sit at your sofa and play racing sim games without having a whole massive setup around. You can tuck it away, your partner won't mind too much, and you can still get some good sim games out. I've had a direct drive wheel on this, and it's very sturdy, surprisingly, but they do come at a hefty price tag. But everything else you see in here furniture-wise, like we're talking the rug, the light, the side table, the coffee table, they're all from IKEA. Now in the display cabinet, which funnily enough was also from IKEA, we have a lot of stuff that we've collected over the past years that I guess just look really cool on display. There's a Pokemon ball in there, a little Pikachu, an old Crazy Taxi game, a Game Boy Advance SP modified, and some funky keyboards as well. My friends, this is the Acer Swift 14 AI, a Copilot Plus PC. We're making history here. This is the first of its kind. Now it's powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon X Plus with 45 tops. That's a lot of tops.
Not that kind, mate.
All right, it's got a lightweight design at 1.36 kg. I could do this all day. And a 1440p QHD camera. Now this cam also features Windows Hello support and a proximity sensor. Right, that's the hardware covered, so let's check out some of the software that makes this laptop so special. All right, so I've never professed to be great at drawing, right? But sometimes we need to mock up thumbnails for YouTube. If I just give this a quick scribble, my new mate here is gonna help. Paint has come a long way since middle school. So now we're on to Studio Effects, and you may notice my background isn't ideal. There's loads of features that take advantage of this laptop's NPUs. With a few clicks, this area is looking a little more medium ready. Now, this laptop also does live captions. Mate, I don't understand a word of this. Which is perfect for watching some of my favourite creators who speak a different language. And if you're anything like me and try to do 5 things at once, this new recall feature's gonna be handy. It allows you to browse back through anything you've done on your laptop and pick it right back up. And don't worry, it's got plenty of privacy features. For any more info, go check out the Acer Swift 14 AI. Back to the video. And then above the TV, we have our newly crafted gallery wall. This is supposed to represent a lot of mine and Ryan's interests and bring a bit of character into the lounge. Like before this was up, just where the TV sat and between the ceiling, massive blank white space, and we tried to figure out what to fill it with, and I think we've done a pretty good job on filling it with, you know, a little representation of me and you and bringing all the bits together. We've got an E36 M3 print, a couple of images here from Poster Lad, who's a really talented designer in the Netherlands, I think he is. A couple of anime prints as well from mine and Ryan's favourite animes, a few lo-fi ones, and then a big CS2 one. CS is great, isn't it? It's just the best. And the lighting that we've shown on screen now is actually all smart controlled and linked up to Alexa. We'll show you the whole smart office bit a bit later in the video. And to finish the lounge off, we've got this DIY backboard. It's actually just made from Amazon shoe racks and a bit of ply from the hardware store. On top of it, we've got some of my favorite things. I think it still needs a little more decoration, but for now, it definitely does its job really well. Now, I think that's everything for the lounge, but if you see anything that you like that I haven't covered, please just let me know in the comments and I'll try my best to reply. Well, let's step it up a bit and have a look at our race sim. All right, we went a little extra with the race sim setup. Welcome to Garage Corner. The floor we've put down is, as you can see, supposed to be in a garage. This is from Garage Style Limited. They come in click-together floor tiles, and we've just laid it on over the floor we've put down. It just gives the space a little garage vibe. It helps because the race sim wheels around on it, and the floor itself doesn't get damaged. We went with a black and grey checkerboard pattern to give it more of a garage look and like define this space in the corner as well. I think it looks so much better. Which brings me on to the hex lights above me, also from Garage Style. These were, I can't lie, they were an absolute pain to hang. They all come in single bars here. You have to clip them all together into the right connectors, plan out how many hexes you want, and then we've hung them with like picture wire from the suspended ceiling and wired them down to a plug. In the corner here, we have like a toolbox style thing. I don't tell anyone, it's just filled with camera gear. But I think the industrial look on it really suits the space. This one was from IKEA. I don't think it was massive amounts of money compared to like the, what do they use in actual garages? Snap-on ones, Draper ones, Husky ones. This is definitely more of a budget pick. The ply finish on the top's really nice, and then the black looks great in here as well, and we've just covered it in some of our favorite stickers. Up here we have an original car ad from the 80s. They don't make them like they used to anymore. This is from a company called Petrolia, and then I have a banner here that we got last time we visited Japfest. I think the automotive memorabilia sort of really suits it in here. We want to get a few more bits up on the wall, but it's kind of nice to get them organically when we're going different places or collecting different things. Down in the corner here, we have a real traffic light. I didn't steal it personally. I bought it off eBay and it's been already wired for UK house mains, but you can do different sequence settings with it. It has a traffic light. It's very bright. We want to get it on a pole eventually, but as you can imagine, it's very, very heavy. And then to tie the look together, we've got some BMW wheels on semi-slicks from the older M3. I think these are on the E36 or E46. I can't remember 100%. So I was looking for something for decoration, and these actually popped up on Facebook Marketplace for £150. The guy only had 2 of them, so I don't think anyone was buying them as like a full set or a spare set for the car. Yeah, I think they bring the space together really nicely and add a bit of like genuine character. You know what I mean? They've been on a car at some point. And here is the race sim, and this is the main reason we built most of this corner out, is to decorate for this. It's a direct drive setup. Most of the parts, moving parts on it, are supplied by Moser. Moser R9 direct drive base, a Moser shifter, a Moser hydro, Moser CRP pedals. It feels like a real car. I don't know the best way to describe it, and if you've never been in a direct drive sim setup, it's quite hard to comprehend, but if I get in an MX-5 or a 350Z on Assetto Corsa in this, and then I go and drive an MX-5 or a 350Z, the resemblance is uncanny. The feedback you get through the steering wheel, like if you turn it all the way up, you gotta watch your arms. The cockpit itself is from GT Omega, and that comes with the monitor arm as well. We have a keyboard tray from them too, and then an OMP bucket seat out of an old track car. It smells. It's quite tight to fit in, but I think it looks pretty good in the sim. So the ultra wide on it, I was gonna run 3 screens, but I feel like this gives you more of like a sweeping windscreen sort of feel. This is a 49-inch Argon, 144 hertz. I think it's 1440p res. Plenty enough for a racing simulator. Like, I don't think these games are too heavy to power at all, which brings us on to the PC that powers it. Now this setup is actually driven by a really modest PC. Like, we have some pretty strong ones in here for gaming and editing and workloads and different things like that, but for a racing sim, you actually don't need much modern hardware. I think this one's a Ryzen 5 3600, a 1080 Ti I got off Facebook for around £100, and there's either 16 or 32 gig of RAM in there. I think it's 32. There is 32. AMD stock cooler, some cheap Arctic fans. It's in a pretty decent case, but that's only because we had one spare, and it powers everything a dream. All right, my friends, so welcome to what I call Work Corner. I've been lucky enough to do this for long enough now and things to go sort of well enough to have one of my friends work with me, which is, you know, a dream come true, really. And this is where he works, and my partner as well. This is a main editing setup and also a flexible gaming setup as well. I mean, as you can tell by the peripherals and a few other bits, it's obviously not just for editing, right? Like, you dabble in a little bit over here. Some people say, when work's finished, we might dabble in a few games in here. I'm not saying we do, I'm not saying we don't. Some people say. These are two butcher blocks, Carlby butcher blocks from IKEA. They're in 256 centimetre, I think the dim is, by 65 deep. They're IKEA's kitchen tops, but I think they work really well as desks. These are in a birch finish and they almost very nearly didn't fit in the van we took to IKEA. And they're all sitting on Alex drawers as well. The amount of Alex drawers we had to build to put in this office, quite a few Alex drawers. We're pretty good at building Alex drawers now, right? Over on Ryan's side of the setup here, he's running a dual monitor setup with a pretty beastie PC. It's got a Ryzen 7 7800X 3D in, 4060 Ti, I think, and 32 gig of RAM. In a small form factor case. So his main monitor here is a 27-inch 360Hz 1080p monitor from Alienware. It is IPS, so when we're doing video work, it's still relatively color accurate, right? Things don't look too wrong. The keyboard, widely known as one of the best gaming keyboards out at the minute, is the Wooting 60HE. This thing is rapid. I've used it a few times and it feels like you're not even touching the keys. G Pro Superlight for lots of really fast editing. Yep. Pretty good mouse. We did some modifications to it, it's now on some better skates. Audio setup is very impressive as well. We've got a Lewitt LCT 440 Pure connected to a Connect 6. It's a good audio setup, mate. It's a good audio setup. And he's one of them people that just runs IEMs instead of a headset. I'm almost on the IEM train, right? But you dabble a lot more than me. You're a dedicated IEM user. Oh, yeah. Sometimes they get, I'm learning, I'm getting there. They are better.
They're good, man.
They are better, but headsets are very comfy. For hearing footage better. Is that why you have them, is it? And then behind him, cool little keyboard setup as well. There are some very expensive keyboards on here, but he used to really enjoy it as a hobby, and I think still does. And yeah, this is just a collection of things he's had over the years. How much is this one worth, mate?
Not much.
How much is that one worth? Guys, in the comments, if you know what this keyboard is, let me know. Anyway, over to the less interesting part of the setup. This is more of a flexible desk, so when we have friends down, they're welcome to use it. My partner occasionally comes in here and, God bless her, really helps with some admin work as well. I hate admin work, and she's great at it. It's got everything you need for if you come in. Yeah. You know, the desk shelf doesn't necessarily match the desk, but it's spare. It'll do the job. That's it. Anyway, moving on, let's check out the best setup in the office. You might disagree.
No, I agree.
I like it the most. Maybe not the best for gaming. Let's check it out. All right, guys, so here we are. This is where I get most of my work done. Let's run over the tech quickly, and then we'll go over some of the furniture in it as well. So the main attraction here is, I don't even know how to say it. We found a PC case on Facebook Marketplace that was from the 90s, and it was in a bit of a tip. I think someone had left a house and it just sat around for years and years. It was smelly, it was moldy, it was damp. We decided to give it a new lease of life. So now it is running a full custom EK water loop, an i9 13900K, 64 gig of DDR5 RAM, and a vertical mounted 4090. Who'd have thought that case would ever have that stuff in? This took a lot of modification, a lot of work. We were cutting a lot of metal, putting things in, pulling things out. And also, it was my first custom loop water core build as well. So just to add a little bit of spice to it, we're also really worried about that. But yeah, this is my beast of a workhorse. It dabbles in a few games too, and I love it to bits. The display is also slightly outrageous. This is a Samsung Odyssey Arc 55-inch. It's a 55-inch, 4K, 165 Hz display. Yeah, I mean, it's a TV, isn't it? Yeah. It's a PC monitor, but it's a TV. It's got a One Connect feature as well. So you run one cable into the back of it. The other one runs to the box we've hidden behind this wall, and you can connect everything to that. So you only need a power cable and one Connect cable, and it's golden. So with the main bits covered, let's move on to some of the peripheral stuff. This is my audio setup. It's the Lewitt Ray microphone. We've got a blue compass arm, and this runs down to the Lewitt Connect 2. This is a pretty good XLR setup. The Lewitt Ray, funnily enough, actually has little LiDAR sensors built into the front, and it can detect where I am based on my position and adjust the sound accordingly. Onto the audio interface, it's the Lewitt Connect 2. So as you've seen over in Ryan's setup, we have the Connect 6 over there. This is a slightly smaller and newer version of that, but it has everything you need in for just recording at your desk, maybe playing some games. I think you can plug a few instruments into it as well. The main things I use to interface with the PC, the keyboard is a Mode 80, beautiful custom mechanical keyboard built by Ryan himself, and it's got some Aqua King switches in. Desk pad.
Where's that from?
Where's the desk pad from? The desk pad, we actually design and sell desk pads, if you didn't know. This is one of our best sellers, the Koi desk pad. 900 by 400, absolutely love it. We change it out a fair bit, but I think this is my personal favorite. Really nice. And then for the mouse I use, this is the Final Mouse Starlight that we've recently customized. The scroll wheel was getting I was jumping a bit too much in game when I shouldn't be, and the clicks were getting a bit mushy as well. Now to listen to things, we've got a few choices here. These are two Sonos Era 100s. In Sonos' newer gen releases, their speakers actually have Bluetooth built into them, and then they pair to each other. The delay isn't bad at all, so I have these connected up to my monitor for if I want a bit better sound quality, or just not wear a headset. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just don't want to wear a headset. Speakers are very good for that. I've had no problems with these, very good. And for when I'm gaming, I use these JBLs. I think these are the Quantum 910s. Really cool about them actually. You can connect them, I think it connects via Bluetooth and dongle, and you have two inputs in your ear. So I can have a chat input and a game input, and then mix it on the headset. So like if I'm in Discord and the voices are a bit too loud and the game's a bit too quiet, I can scroll one of these and it adjusts on two different channels. And then if I want a bit better sound quality, these are some in-ear IEMs from Arki. I mean, they're good. I don't know much about IEMs, they're good. They sound okay. Oh, and to back storage up on, we also have a drive here with, I think there's like 10 terabytes worth of storage loaded up onto it. It just saved me shoving it all in this old case. We can move it about and yeah, I can back up all my video files on here. So the concept started with no wires, and to achieve that, we started off by building a media wall. I wanted all the cables to run into it, I wanted the monitor to be floating, and the only way we could really think to do that is pull some panels off of the wall and make a little raceway for everything behind. The panels themselves are from Wood Veneer Hub. There's 5 of these up to cover the entire setup, and they're backed by bits of wood to bring them out from the wall a little bit and secured on like that. They were a little bit of a pain to get straight. The floor isn't straight, the ceiling wasn't straight, so to get this lifted off the wall and not finish from top to bottom was quite the effort, but I think we've pulled it off pretty well. Light in the back of these to create a bit of separation is a Govee smart strip, and all the ones you've got running down it are RGB IC. They're fully controllable, and they're from Govee as well. Govee lighting's pretty good. So the media wall, I think, has really done its job. Like, as you can see from here, the monitor looks as if it's floating and the curve's just coming out of the wall. And under the desk, there's nothing under there. Where are the cables? Let me show you what we light the monitor with. So at the top here, I managed to source a curved light bar from Amazon. I didn't know they did them, but it fits the curve of the monitor, and it just provides some really nice task lighting for down on the desk here. If it's nighttime and all the rest of the lights are off and you've only got a few mood lights on, this space is definitely still workable. And for some bias light on the back of the monitor, these are Philips Hue play bars. I haven't actually got the bridge for them, so they don't turn on and off. They're always on. Anyway, moving away from fixings and more onto furniture. The desktop here is very large. The way I got this desk is because a local bar was getting rid of one and said, hey, do you want it for free? I said yes, and to make it fit, we actually didn't cut much of it at all. I feel like because the monitor's so big, you need quite a deep and long desk to make everything look like proportionally correct, and I think this ties it together and does the job. Right, now to hold the desk up, these are some metal A-frames from the Hairpin Leg Company. We needed something pretty beefy to hold this big slab of wood, and they're doing a really good job. They're in a raw metal finish, and they match in with the concrete effect floor quite nicely. I really like them. And then to round the setup off, this is where I sit all day. This is the Ergo Chair 2. I think they call it the Pro now. I must have had this thing for like 5 years now. It still stands up for itself, and it is a very good chair. I feel like an important part of a work/gaming setup. Get yourself a good Ergo chair, you're golden. And I upgraded it with RGB wheels. Now this space, as well as being like a good setup for me, a nice lounge setup, is also a creative space as well. And we've got a lot of studio light in here as well, and this space is mainly used for like product shoots and different bits. We're not going to go over it in great detail, but there's a cool wall-mounted paper backdrop thing here. We need a few more backdrops for, but you can choose a color for a background. There's a standing desk with a B&Q door on top of it. We needed a white desk for a shoot and couldn't find one same day, so this is an untreated door. I don't think it'll last too much longer, but it got us across the finish line. I don't know how much of you will be interested in studio lighting, but we'll breeze over it. These are two Amran PTC4 tubes. They light a lot of our videos. They're battery powered, app controllable, really good tube lights. They look great on video. Look really, really cool. We've got an Amran 200XS with a Light Dome Mini SE on it with a little egg crate on it. This creates really nice direct lighting, as you can see, without much spill. So if you want like a moody, ambient sort of shot, this is perfect. A cheaper, newer light on a massive softbox for some nice diffuse light. And at the background, there's another Amran balloon. You turn it on, it can crank the light up in the office. It's pretty good. Let's check something else out. All right, and this is another DIY project of ours we fondly call the grass wall. This just helps tie the botanical theme together pretty nicely in the office. A grass site had a sale on with some wall panels, and we thought, I think these are meant for outdoors, but we've screwed them into this wall. I think they look pretty cool. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you like it. In front of it, we have a nice sideboard. Also from Ikea, we've put some custom handles on from Amazon just to elevate it a little bit. Yeah, and on here we've just got a few little display but still functional bits. This is a fold-up case from Teenage Engineering. We're yet to build a PC in, but I think a few people want to see that, so let me know if you want to see it as well. This is an Echo Show. When you speak to it with the camera, it can follow you around, which is slightly strange. We've turned that off. This controls a lot of the smart home stuff we'll get to in a minute. Sonos soundbar. It's not near a TV, but it does help bring the sound a bit more together in the office. I think the office is like 1,200 square foot, so instead of being in a lounge and your sound being quite enclosed, you actually have to fill up quite a lot of space with the audio. So we've got another soundbar over here. It's a bit much, thank you Sonos. Apple HomePod, in case you want to do other smart home stuff. A light and a play button I'm very fond of. This is on the other channel. Down next to the sideboard is our office best friend, we like to call Sweepy. Me and Ryan don't like sweeping or mopping the floors. Call us lazy. It is quite a lot to sweep and mop, especially when you're doing it at home as well. But this guy will come out every night. It changes water, it'll sweep as well, and it's got a few little AI bits in it where it'll smart clean. Like if somewhere's a bit too dirty, it'll go back to it, clean itself, go back to it again until it's really good. We've covered a lot of the office, not all of it. This is a kitchen, storage room and bathroom. You guys don't need to see that. So let's cover some of the smart home stuff. So in here we do have a few different smart home controllers for like a few different flavors for videos. I think predominantly we use Alexa, but we also have a HomePod for Siri. We have a home bridge set up as well, and a few presence sensor style things as well. When I leave the office at night, I can turn all the lights off from one word, and I can also shut the blinds as well. I can't tell you how convenient the blind rollers are. Like, they're a little expensive to set out, but we've used it so many times. They're so worth it. So all the lighting in here are smart lights. If not, they've got smart plugs on to also be controlled by a voice assistant. Everything turns off at a command. And we also have some zone control as well. Now, Arki do a presence sensor, and it can detect when you're in a certain zone, and you can set up a routine so it behaves in a different way. Example, if I walk to my desk, I can have it turn on all my desk lighting, and it'll stay on while I'm there. As soon as I walk out of it, everything will turn off again. It's really cool. We also have a cool little Arki cube down here, so if you don't like voice assistants, you can set it on different sides and program it to do different things based on the side. Say, for example, I want 4 to shut my blinds. All I'd have to do is place it on 4, the blinds automatically shut. Now, HomeKit itself is pretty good, but we've also got Home Bridge set up, which allows you to do a little bit more with it. At the minute, I've got my PC set up on a switch, so I can ask Siri to turn it on, and it'll flick my switch on through Wake on LAN. We do want to set a few more things up with it in the future, because I know we haven't even explored a lot of its capabilities, but let us know if you have any ideas and we'll try and automate them. All right, and we also have this. It's an arcade machine. Message me if you want it. We don't want it. All right, and I think that about does it. I think we've covered everything. Now, this office is always a work in progress, and we're always looking to add different bits of it. I've been putting off making this video for a while because I never believed that it's truly where I want it to be yet, but I think it's in a pretty decent state. Hopefully some of you guys have got some value out of the different things that I've talked about in here. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.